Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us praise and thanks the praise of Allah to make for abundance of grace and the joy of all of us can still together in this place without any without any bills at all and in good health, not forgetting the salawat and greetings we pour out to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, who has brought us out of the darkness to the to the era of Black Flag today, namely Islam. May we all get intention on the and Amin. Billiard history. Billiard is certainly not a sport that is foreign to us because the sport is the same as bowling, which is very exciting and is often done as one of the most enjoyable pastimes. Uh, the word the word billiard itself is not to be taken from the word billiard, which means a wooden stick, or billy, which means ball. History billiard. Initial, Initially, the game of billiards was not like now, which is played with many balls. In the past, this game only used two balls on a table, with this have six pointers and also a wall, which was similar to a game of cricket. As a bonus target, a strike stick is used. In 1016, old, the game of billiard uh, has actually been known in the 106,000 odd and even in Shakespeare and now and criteria this game is referred to there as an old Egyptian sport. Meanwhile, in 106,075, the game of billiards was very popular in England and the rule book of this game was published in that year. Captain Mingguan. As a sports quintet operates these billiards even though at that time he was a political prisoner of the government during the French Revolution. Mingot. Uh, Mingot is the innovator of the tip, which is an additional skin that is usually used on the tip of the cue. For Asia, and more accurate to ball control. A strong tip is required as the tips he found hardened over time. The puts were not as effective as before, so he eventually needed to be repaired primarily. He then left prison and decided to tour France with the main goal of a billiard exhibition. 108,000 went in arrival in the 18th country. Gold and gold sticks fell out of use and balls and podcasts were used in the early 1000, 100, 108,000. It became known that it was the nobility who played the game of billiards. However, there is plenty of evidence circulating that people from all walks of life also play billiards. Uh, in English, billiards called named Jack is an innovator of center stroke century in billiard. He is also credited with applying curve on the tip surface so that the actually of the below can be extracted. In 1120 and 20, he traveled around Europa and solved the magical twin scale he had invented while practicing billiards. Uh, Developed in Indonesia, it was the general public who popularized the game of billiards in Indonesia for the first time. People with a lot of free time because they don't have regular job are what make billiards famous that in Indonesia. Billiards are still considered a negative type of game. It's just that because billiards are known to be the game of the upper class people in Europe. Our society now seems much better and accepting billiard, and many are even getting interested. In the end, the sport this sport has also developed in Indonesia and has an official organization which accompany Indonesian National Sport Committee has regions. Equipment. After taking a brief look at the development of billiard, now we also need to know what equipment is needed to play billiards, mail to golf, equipment and equipment for beginner when playing golf. Then also swimming equipment for swimming. Billiards has its own apparatus as one cue ball. The type and weight of the cue ball is very diverse, and more often you play the cue ball, the more automatic carry. The cue ball will get dirty with in the end has a pretty bad effect on the course of the game. This is because the course of the cue ball is no longer easy to control. Pool table, billiard table, or billiard table. The pool table area is designated in a regular shape where the arc of the table itself is 50 x 1000 inches. This uh, this pool this pool table uh, is lined with cloth or carpet so that when the ball is struck, its movement becomes more regular. Having six holes, pool table also has a refreshing board located on the side of the table whose main function is a ball connection. Pool stick. The ball and the bat or ball stick we call these two sticks is perpendicular with a slender body. The handle is larger, while the tip is small. The handle of these two sticks is usually made of smooth wood, and this stick also has a tip that makes it easier and makes the ball more organized when poked. Test sticks. Such or cal sticks in general is also an important piece of equipment in the game of billiards with function to make the tip stick not slippery. The purpose of using these type sticks is to help so that when we pop the ball, there is no fall. It's used in quite simple lemon rubbing it on the tee several times until the tee color is no longer faded. Or if we love playing billiards, surely the balls have been arranged regularly on the table, right? This self is what we net where the same is similar to a frame with a triangular shape whose main function is a ball maker so that it can be tightly and organized. Gloves. Gloves are not majority equipment, but most professional pool players will be golfers. The purpose of wearing these gloves is so that the grip become more stable. And general rules. After how to play and introduction to billiard equipment and a glimpse of the history of the sport is not complete if we don't know the rules that apply. 9 ball game rules. The use of billiard balls is numbered 1 until 9 balls. A wheel ball is a cue ball. Ball number 1 until 9 need to be arranged in a diamond shape and the break and ball number 20 position must be at the top of the diamond and ball number 8 position is in the middle while other can be random. Players must enter balls from number 1 to 9 in squares and must not be random. The process of entering the ball can be done directly, namely, uh, by poking the ball with the smaller number on the table or combining the target ball with other balls that we already now we will be able to enter the pocket on the pool table. Vacation and punishment. It is considered a violation or if the white ball or two ball get into the hole. The white ball is a pocket is the non-smallest number ball the first step. The white ball does not touch the target ball at all when it is hit. The player's clothing or any part of the player's body touch the ball on the table. Leave or just put the two sticks on the table. The ball leaves the game table. Hit the ball while the other balls are still moving wide until the balls are still. No ball touches the tee or casing when hitting the target ball is hit. Uh, as a punishment for the offense, usually the opposing player will have the opportunity to get a free ball, which meant that the which ball can be played in any position on the game table. The player is the the player is directed deferred if he commits a violation 3 times. The player who wins the game is success in entering the number 9 ball, which is also unharmed by the referee. Other uh, other regulation. Having a system of bricks for each player in turn. The draw will dictate the first brick. Big mouse feels there are less four balls to the tire, and if this will be considered a foul. Players who are not the tire in the tire turn to hit net twice and are not allowed to interface with players who are in the middle of city. Do not intimidate in any form during the game against opposing players. No smoking is allowed during the game. The base of the system is used in match where in the best of five system applies to the semifinals and final. At last one player foot must be on the floor when trying to take the ball, otherwise it is considered a foul. The game of billiards, ranging from history, equipment, may and the rules of the game have been reviewed which might help us understand better about this sport before we are interested in playing it. And this billiard is my hobby. The use of a billiard ball is number one. The line plus a white ball as a cue ball. Ball number one till nine net to the billiard in a diamond shape at the brick and the ball. Number one position must be at the top of the diamond, and ball number nine position is in the middle while other can be random. Players must enter ball from number 1 to 9 in sequence and must not be random. Players must enter balls from number 1 to 9 in sequence and must not be random. The process of entering the ball can be done directly, namely by poking the ball with the smallest number on the table, um, coming the target ball with other balls that we already know will be able to enter the pocket on the pool table. Pool stick. The ball, the bat or ball, the bat or ball sticks we call these two sticks is perpendicular with a cylinder body whose handle is larger while the tip is small. The handle of these two sticks is usually made of smooth wood, and this stick also has a tip that makes it easier and makes the ball more organized when bowled. Joystick. Chair or joystick in general is also important piece of equipment. The game of billiards with a function to make the tip stick not slippery. The purpose of using this characteristic is not help so that when we pop the ball, there is not fall. Its use is quite simple, namely rubbing in it on the tip several times until the tip color is not layer faded. Mm. And Purok, if followed before playing billiards, surely the ball have been regularly on the table, right? The self with we net where the shape is similar to a firm with a regular shape whose main vacation is a biomaker so that it can be taken on organism. That's all for me. That's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.